Good morning, everybody. This is Andy again on the Lawson Farm. We are getting ready to take a little road trip. It's 5:45 in the morning on Friday morning. It's raining, and we're going to look at a seed drill. So stay tuned, and I'll show you a few things to look at when you go to look at a seed drill for yourself. Some things you need to be aware of, but we'll talk back to you when we get there. We've got about a 3-hour ride, I think. So, all right. We'll see you shortly. So, we made it here. It's about 9:45 in the morning. We're here at in Greer, South Carolina. And this guy's got quite a bit of equipment out here. I don't know if you can see all that or not. Pretty nice place. But anyways, this is the grain drill we were coming to look at. John Deere 452. Got the small seed box on it, and got the fertilizer boxes and the seed boxes. But something under here I want to show you. Now this on Craigslist, this thing looked great. These discs, those are good. That one, all wobbly, wore out. That one's sort of loose. And under here, I don't know if you can see, right in here, all of the fertilizer stuff underneath of it is each slap up with rust. And then over here we've got discs that are locked up tight, will not move. Those there are loose. That one there is loose. Now the guy told me. All right, sorry about this, folks. I had some audio problems there, and I didn't realize it till I got home. But I was saying, the guy told me on the phone that this thing was near perfect machine, and when we get down there, when we pull up, it does look perfect. But we go for further inspection, and we find out that the disc are almost wore out, and the bearings that the disc roll on are wore out, and the fertilizer, the bottom part of the fertilizer box itself is wore out. And so just keep in mind, when you go to look at used equipment, you really need to inspect it yourself and don't take the seller's word for it. All right, so we are now in Mount Airy, North Carolina. We have been plumb from Greer, South Carolina to Mount Airy, North Carolina today. We've stopped at a couple other tractor places between here and there, but no seed drills at those two. We were just stopping for other things. But anyways, they have a few on the lot. You can see, got an old Massey Ferguson. Over here we've got an older John Deere. It's got a blowed out tire on it, but nothing really that we're interested in. But I will show you a couple of things. Look right here. When anytime you go to looking for a new seed drill, you need to check out all these discs. This one here, not sure you can see it or not, but it's got some wobble in it. Nothing major, but it can be fixed. And this one's not eat out either. However, it don't have the fertilizer hopper on it. This one's just got a seed hopper. And right here is one that's really wore out. I guess you can see that. Got some major play in that bearing. All right, folks, I don't know what's going on with my mic, but I just realized I had some more problems right here too. But anyways, look inside this seed box here, and you can see that everything looks pretty good. It's clean. It's not eat up with rust or anything. But you know, when you have a fertilizer box on a seed drill, you really have to check it out, because that fertilizer will eat up the metal in a hurry if it's not cleaned properly. And this one here has the fertilizer box, which it's fairly clean. It's just old. You know, so then this drill also had the small seed box, and that's what we're looking for. But you know, we just didn't want this particular drill. It was too old of a drill not to do what we want to do. And you know, so I wish I could have showed you around the other dealership a little bit more. They had a couple of nice drills down there, but it just started pouring rain. And so I was trying to hurry up and get back in the truck. But anyways, you know, when you're looking for new equipment, or used equipment, I mean, you got to really check it out, because this stuff gets wore out. And you know, if the price is right, it's fine if it's wore out, because you can afford to work on it. But you don't want to go paying for a price for a piece of equipment that, to pay the kind of price that something that should be in really good shape, and then have to spend $1,000 or so on it to get it back into what it should be. But I just wanted to give you a few little tips here. I mean, always check the bearings, and if it's got a fertilizer hopper on it, check to see if it's eat up with rust. And don't just go by the pretty paint, because when you look at this Massey Ferguson behind me, it's got some good looking paint on it. However, the bearings and stuff down there are wore out on it. One of the hoses and cups right here that go from this to the disc down here is missing. You know, I mean, that's something you'll have to fix before you go to use this machine. So just keep that in mind, and don't just look at the paint job and say, oh, it's a good looking machine. But they may be good looking, but you need to check the functional part of it too. Look at all the fittings, make sure it looks like it's been greased and kept up. You know, and just check all that stuff. Wiggle all the discs, see if they move freely, or if they move too freely. Just see what you can, you know, the price will determine everything. All of these drills we've looked at today have been way overpriced for what they are. And I mean, we're not trying to get one give to us by no means, but it's we don't want to have to spend an arm and a leg for one either, and then have to spend a couple $100 or $1,000 on it to get it back right. But anyways, I'll conclude this video up when we get home, and just wanted to, I mean, if you're in the local area here, look at Mount Area Equipment. They have a ton of used equipment out here, and they got a ton of new equipment. Like I said, I wish I could got some more footage while we was down there at that place in Greer, South Carolina, but it just started raining and it was nasty. I had to get back in the vehicle. But anyways, I'll conclude this up when we get home, and we'll see you then. So we finally made it back home today after our long road trip. It's dark again, and it was dark when we left, but what didn't exactly see what we was wanting to see today. It kind of was a little disappointing. The drill we had down in South Carolina, we was really interested in it, and come to find out it wasn't quite in the shape that we thought it was in. And that was the whole reason I kind of want to take you guys along on this video. Was you know, when you see stuff online for sale, pictures can do a lot. And yeah, just first glimpse, this thing looked like, I mean, looked in really good shape. It looked like it'd been shed kept, and it probably had, but the paint was good. It hadn't been repainted. It was original paint. But you just never know. The machine itself, you know, whoever owned it didn't clean the fertilizer hopper out like they should have, and it rusted out. And all of this stuff was fixable. Don't get me wrong. It was a nice drill. However, the guy was asking too much for it, considering the amount of work we'd have to do to get it back in the condition we wanted it to be in. And working condition, really. Had a couple, well, probably 4 or 5 bearings at least that would have to be replaced, and felt like, you know, a few more going bad. And so we just kind of decided to back out on that one, and then we went and looked at a few others and didn't really see anything else that we were interested in. And so it is what it is. We'll keep looking and hopefully find one day. And the reason we're kind of looking for a drill is we've kind of quit planting crops. You know, we're not doing corn anymore, and we're not really doing much soybeans. And the soybeans we planted with our same planter we plant our corn with. But now we're just looking for a planter to sow everything in grass, and maybe, you know, I'm not saying we're going to sow the whole farm in grass just yet. Probably sow some wheat and oats and stuff like that with it. Stuff we can use to make hay and feed cows and whatnot. But for the most part, it's just planning on sowing about the whole farm here in grass, and instead of renting one, we're going to buy one, and that way we'll have it if we need it. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe we'll come across one before spring, but that's our goal, anyways. And I just wanted to kind of take y'all along with us today and show you some of the things you need to look for. And this is not just a grain drill. This could be any kind of equipment. You got to check out everything. You can't just go off the way it looks. Unless you're buying new, of course. Of course, it's going to look good, and it's supposed to be good. But used equipment, you've got to really check it out and go over it with a fine-tooth comb, unless it's dirt cheap. And usually, if it's dirt cheap, there's a reason it's dirt cheap. But I guess this will conclude this video, and I'm about to go take me a shower and go to bed.